The Myrtle Beach Women's Club is on an upward swing. Find out why. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Conference Center on the Grand Strand campus of Horry Georgetown Technical College. We're focused on our show sponsor, the Myrtle Beach Herald, and we're visiting with one of its longtime columnists, Sharlene Zwing. Friends and neighbors, good morning,
Thank you for having me this morning.
And the acting, the reigning, the supreme there at Myrtle Beach Women's Club, the amazing nonprofit of the year, 3 years in a row here in the Myrtle Beach area. Congratulations.
We're proud of that. Thank you.
Those last 3 years, Shar. Absolutely. I love your stylish glasses the day before Thanksgiving.
I'm ready for Thanksgiving. You?
Yeah, even purple, kind of the new colors of Thanksgiving.
Fall.
I like that. That's right. Thanks for coming in. What about this conference center? They do a great job.
This place is beautiful. I really didn't realize that it was such a nice place. I think it could be utilized for a lot of things now that I'm looking at it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, last week, obviously, the same room was set up for the big luncheon they had to honor many of the local philanthropists, a lot of local folks, and obviously the Women's Club and so many others out here to recognize some great folks.
We were glad to be here to recognize you, Greg. Philanthropy Lunch was a big thing, National Philanthropy Day, and this was a nice place for it.
It really was, absolutely. How about big plans tomorrow, Shar? You got some big plans for Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah, luckily, I have a big family. So Thanksgiving is family. My daughter will be coming home from college. And, of course, we'll have the traditional yummy Thanksgiving dinner, which they're all looking forward to. And, of course, she's more into it now that she's eating dorm food. So that always makes it better. And then we have the traditional embarrassment, the mother embarrassing the children by making them wear bowling shirts. And we all go bowling.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, we all go to the bowling alley in the afternoon. And now we have the Amaze Zwing Bowlers T-shirts. So they have to put on their T-shirts and go and be embarrassed. It's a fabulous day.
That is great, Char. Good for you, putting the pressure on. Of course, you and your daughter having been outnumbered by, I guess, the 3 guys. Is that right?
Yeah, but we have a good showing. And if nothing else, we try to get the nicest looking shoes.
That is fantastic. Wow. What about that in the column? As I think about it, of course, trying to get out of the Thanksgiving mode, but into the column mode. Friends and Neighbors has been around now almost 15 years.
Again, an amazing tradition. That's another amazing tradition, yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to believe things go that fast. When it all started, I would have had no idea that today I'd still be a part of it. And yet today, the way that it's grown and how it's been in our community, it's been a blessing to have had something that long.
Right.
Writing that column, you think every single month. I don't know if I can, think of one more thing each month, but somehow there's so many great things going on in the community, and now they've wrapped around the Herald trying to give information that it's actually been an incredible thing.
A lot of folks feed you good information. I mean, obviously you're out on the street to making sure your ears are down there, probably checking out some Thanksgiving luncheons aside from y'all's bowling trip tomorrow. I hear about some big feasts that are probably happening tomorrow around town.
Yes, and those things you kind of do have to ask about. People don't really, get into telling you their personal holiday things, but a lot of times there are people who want to make someone happy, just to put a smile on their face. That's most of the things that get sent in, and those are the things that I really like, the very small details that someone will say, my neighbor was so excited because for the first time in her life she got a car that was not used. Right. That type of thing just makes that neighbor so excited they have no idea how that showed up in the paper.
Right.
And of course we keep those, we keep those private.
Your sources
absolutely, absolutely. We encourage them to give information.
Yeah.
As long as it is happy information that would make someone feel good, it's just something I love to have. And so that's more the thing that they feed me now. And I'm always amazed. I am amazed at people who I don't know, who read the Herald, and they read it, have read it a long time, and have an interest in being sure that someone they love is featured in it. I think that that's been a great thing. People that are from other parts of the community, people I may not know, but I know their children. It's been something for me, too, to really learn.
I bet a lot of folks hadn't thought about that. I mean, they think about reporters and confidentiality, but, of course, all the columnists who are oftentimes provided good information about somebody of interest in the community they want to highlight, and in that instance where you've got neighbors or folks from all over that are sending you information, someone may not even want to promote themselves as having gotten a new car or their child
That's
having won
right.
a scholarship. But at the same time, you get it in there, in the end, they're happy about it, and of course...
Oh, generally, if you ask them, if I was to call you and ask you, can I have some more details about your new car, they'll say, oh, that's not important, please don't feel, and a lot of times they'll get to the point where they say, let's not do that, in which case I don't. I mean, if I've asked and they say no, then I certainly would not. And so if it is someone that I've checked the story out, and I know from the source what has occurred, usually I'll talk to someone else, then I try to kind of just make it light and put something like that in, because truthfully no one wants to brag. They always try to cut back and say, no, please don't say that about me. But they are always excited. I'll run into someone I don't even know, like when we were at the convention center for Taste of the Town, and people will come and say, thank you so much for writing about my grandson. It was so exciting to see his name in the paper, and I don't know the grandmother, but she knows that it was there. That's really neat. And again, I try to tell my sources, I said, don't worry about it, because generally I can't remember who told me. I'll be out somewhere and someone will tell you 5 things. And you're not writing them down, you're trying to put them in your card catalog in your head. And so you really can't remember sometimes who your source was. People say, who told you that? I know it was someone. I really sometimes don't even know.
Sure, of course,
But we definitely try to keep it to something that would be something someone would be proud to see their name. We would never want to. Sometimes people try to refer to those as gossip. We don't want anything that would relate at all to gossip or would embarrass you in any way to see your name there.
That's exactly right. And of course, your proximity to Mary Jo Rogers' column, which has got a great following, The Feeling Fit.
She's a good
fabulous,
source I can't mention, too.
Oh, is that right? Oh, good.
That helps us a lot, definitely. We work well together.
Absolutely. She really turns it on. Even recently, a great practical piece last week that's still in the newsstands today, Wednesday, but it'll be off tomorrow. A great piece about clutter and just getting your life together, and oftentimes the house, doing room by room, just a little thing there. So I think it's a great compliment to your column and hers. A compliment to you of having her column close by, vice versa.
We usually convert. If there's something in there, I might call her and say, oh, that was really interesting, I enjoyed it. And she'll say, oh, let me think, what went on this week? Because she's busy. She's a busy person in the community, too. So for that to be a community page where we can share information back and forth, and I am not a person who enjoys working out. It's just not my forte. So some of those columns, I have to say, Mary Jo, that was a good one, because I can do that. You
I can probably work out right now.
I have to see what I possibly can do, because and she'll say, oh, I have to think about the fact people either can't fit in time or and it spurs her on to we work great together.
Absolutely.
But that's kind of the way everybody is in the Herald. A lot of those things, we're just community people, and so when we see each other, run into each other, we think of something for each other that helps out a lot.
I'm amazed at the columns that have now been. Of course, it's 4 years ago this week that I've completed the purchase of the sale of Debbie Harwell, who was instrumental, obviously, in launching the Herald back in the early 90s. There was a period she owned, and then she sold it to a group of 10 local owners, later bought it back from them, and then kindly sold it to me right at 4 years ago. And as I think about some of the columns that have been with us now, not like yours that have been with us more than a decade, but some of the columns that have been with us on a 3.5 year period, and some of the profiles, the Veteran of the Week, the Public Servant of the Week, the Public Safety Profile, and then we think about Faith Takes Root. Greg Thompson, who's an administrator here at Horry Georgetown Tech and very popular pastor there at Redemption Church in Conway. And then Mary Jo Rogers, about 3.5 years, and obviously Min Alexander, Solo in America, one of the only Hispanic-based columns in the state that's actually translated into Spanish every single week for 3.5 years now. When you think about the impact, as well as even some of the newer pieces, Realtor of the Week and otherwise, that are coming on strong. I almost don't want to mention any Betty Moses column, obviously My Senior Moment, the Internet column, one of the few Internet columns probably in the Southeast, if not in the country, every week, week after week, pounding something that's of interest. I think we've been well ahead of the curve as it relates, and obviously the local content.
Can you look at them? They're locals. All those people are active locals. Talk about talent. You've got local talent writing something in that paper. it fits the whole community profile to me. To me, it fits because every single one of them are a talent in their area writing for a local paper. And that's, I think, what gives people the reason to want to pick it up. They may know these people. They may admire the fact that they're doing their business here in this community and then giving some information to them in the paper. I think that's what makes it different from reading a column from some wonderful people who may write from California. They don't have the same flavor as we have here, and we are still the independent republic, and we like to believe that we can have it all here. I think that is really what makes the Herald a powerful thing, that people pick it up. And people say that to me all the time. Sharlene, I always pick up the Herald. And I will switch to, and they'll tell me, I look at this one, and this one, and then I go back. You know, I think that's what does it, is that blend that you've put together of those people.
We do have a couple of, one regional and one national. Obviously, Bill O'Reilly from the Fox News Channel has got a popular following. And then a woman who a lot of folks think of as a local now, that she's been with us, that Mary Edie introduced us to, Rhonda Rich, Dixie Divas, which has a very popular following. A woman I talked to yesterday afternoon in thinking about her column there, which even hits a chord with lots of guys. I'm amazed how many guys find her column, Dixie Divas, as a very popular one. So
men don't like to say these things, Greg. They really don't.
Well,
they don't, but they do. I can tell you a lot of men will say that about my column. They'll say, I read your column, and I like, how come I don't have enough information from men then? Well, they don't tend to share as much, but I can tell you that men do read those because they find a great interest in the same kinds of things, but of course they don't spread it as much. So you're right about Dixie Divas, same kind of thing. They don't like to, they'll say to me, we were at a breakfast restaurant, a bunch of guys were looking over your paper, and they saw, and I say, amazing how you don't tell that to everybody, do you? But I'm glad that you tell it to me. Give me some help. I need some help on the guys.
Absolutely. You need to mention that to some of the guys at the Herald themselves. Joe Ruizzi, our amazing political cartoonist, another one-of-a-kind in the state, Robert Ariel at the state, and some other folks around the state. Not too many political or creative cartoonists that are doing it on a local basis. Talk to these guys. Talk to him, Steve Porter, Tom O'Dare, Stamey, and some of the others, even Kent Strobel, our Realtor of the Week columnist, Tom Mazer, and others. Get them to provide you. I bet you, Shar, and it's a great point. We need to think about more interaction from our small crew, since there is a great presence there, and since we are obviously the largest paid weekly in Horry County now. We want to tap each other as well as we can. Myrtle Beach Women's Club coming on strong now, just having celebrated your 40th anniversary, I believe. You're now in your 41st year.
That's true.
Yeah. What's it like as the president there? I know you've been obviously instrumental helping them work hard each year for the Nonprofit of the Year piece, those 10,000, and recently that $15,000 check this past March. Working hard on that. But the Women's Club is reinvesting every single one of those dollars right back into the community. It's amazing.
It's really, when you talk about those kind of things, it's difficult to right away say something because, I'll be honest with you, it's an honor. It is an honor to be able to serve, to have the time to serve your community in that capacity. And it's an honor to be with this group of people. We have people in that club that have been there 10 or more years in one club. Now, that sounds like a lot, but I have people in that club that have been in the club 30 years. 30 years.
Wow.
And when you think of the honor of being with someone who has dedicated that much time to their community for fundraising, it really instills in you a drive, which is really kind of where we went with the money you were discussing, that the Herald's always gone. That became a drive. We want to be known as the best nonprofit in town. And we want to be known for that because that same money will go to a lot of those people who may not have won. We take that same money every year, and more than $12,000 is reinvested back in automatically, without question, to a lot of the groups in town. The rest of it we determine each year where it goes.